Joel Embiid says that he may never play back-to-back games ever again. If I had to guess, I would probably never play back-to-backs the rest of my career. And then, friend of the show, Six Rings of Steel says, if Embiid misses every back-to-back, that is already 15 missed games. Could only miss 2 more to still be eligible for awards. You trade in that for a healthy Embiid in the playoffs, though. Is that a hot take or hot ass? And honestly, it's just a bigger conversation about Embiid, given the fact that before the season even starts, he's just throwing away back-to-backs. Like, he's not playing them.
So you're asking for the hot take of Joel Embiid doing that, or you're asking for the hot take of he should do that or not?
Both.
Okay, so for Joel, I don't want to hear that. It's an ignorant hot pause if needed, because I'm a fan of the sport. I want to see my players play the sport, and that's as simple as it can be. I know there's more legitimate answers than that. But in terms of like a fan, 76ers fan, being along the lines of, hey, gang, I would 100% say Joel don't play back-to-backs if it means he has higher odds of being healthy in the postseason. No, that's a hot take unless I'm missing something. I think that's pretty elementary. I get
no, you good, and I'm gonna take it a step further. When you say stuff like that or do stuff like that, I'm about to get back to the old school. He already put himself in the categories of like the Carmelo Anthonys.
I see why you said that, though.
Respect, yeah, I get it, and it's the smart thing to do. It's the longevity move. It's a really good thing. If I was the ownership, I would do that. But I would just explain to him, you'll never be greater than Carmelo Anthony.
As the owner?
To his face?
Mm-hmm.
God.
I think he's already on a level above Carmelo, seeing how he's already an MVP. I think this is a great move all around. To be eligible for this in-season awards means absolutely nothing to the grand scheme of things. The most important thing is winning. He's there to win. He's getting paid to be a winner. All that individual shit, the MVPs, the first team, all whatevers, that's all individual shit for niggas to get paid. He has been paid. So if I'm them, I would have been, this should have been the thing this entire time. He came into the league hurt. He missed his first 2-3 years. He's been routinely hurt his entire career. He should have been on this type of wave.
Do you think that Derrick Rose is over Carmelo?
No.
Do I think Derrick Rose is over Carmelo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
He stayed consistent.
He stayed. Yeah. I just wanted to see real quick. Ultimately, that stuff doesn't matter to me. I'm rating my guys on a curve, and to be honest with you, I'd rather have Melo being out there on the court than Joel being out there. At this point, I'm going back to the old days. I'm grading harder than I was before. Not giving any excuses.
Do y'all think this is a product of today's winning culture, though, and winning bias? Because, we've even said this on the platform about certain players, like, the regular season don't matter for you. Like, your legacy, specifically with Embiid, regular season don't matter with you. What's going to matter is what you do in the playoffs. So to combat that, he's like, all right, bet. I'm going to take care of myself in the regular season, not push myself to reach 65 games and then get injured. I'm going to rest myself. Same thing with Kawhi, so that when the games that matter come around, when y'all are really supposed to judge me, I'm going to be healthy and ready.
You say that. The problem with that is like, and I hear people say that, but when we get into the certain conversations, let's say he gets another 2 MVPs. What conversations does that put him in? Let's say he gets another MVP. What ballpark does that put him in? Just throw out a name. It don't even got to be right. We don't care if it's right.
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash. Combo. Let's go. All right, let's put him in the Steve Nash combo. What's gonna make or break if you got Steve Nash above Joel or Joel above Steve Nash is we're just gonna start saying, oh, well, the regular season. Is he playing? I'd rather have 89 games of Steve Nash than Joel Embiid at 50 games. Yeah, they got 2 MVPs. That regular season is gonna matter eventually. So we can prolong it all we want to, but it's gonna matter eventually.
It's only gonna matter if he doesn't do anything in the postseason, which only time will tell if this plan of already kicking 15 to 20 games in the regular season so you can be ready for the playoffs, if that works. As of now, it hasn't worked because he hasn't been healthy. Now, has he went it with the mindset of he's just not going to play? Maybe not. Maybe this is something different. So if that starts to work, if he does this where he's giving up on regular season awards to play in the playoffs and now he's healthy, dominant, winning, and they mess around and win a ring or 2 in the next 5 years, total different conversation.
Well, but hold on. But tell me the conversation that you put him in. They win 2 rings. Cool. That's cool. 2 and 5. Where do you put him? Just
Me personally, at that point, he's a all-time center conversation. He's, I will argue, top 5 in a top 5 conversation. Top 5 center for 2
Top five.
rings.
Oh,
Top 5 conversation.
The Sage was like,
Nah,
Oh yeah, top 5 center.
and then took a breath.
I'm sorry. Top 5 center conversation.
Okay, cool.
okay, cool. He gets the top 5 center. I don't know who you have as 4, or I don't know who you have as 5, or whatever the case may be. Who just throw a name out there. Just give me a name. 4 or 5.
Top
That
5
would
center
be
is tough
around
to
4.
crack.
That's around 4, probably Jokic.
Probably Jokic. Okay. Why would you have the nod over Jokic above him?
Because then you're comparing at their peaks. Joel Embiid is as dominant, but healthy. The defense would just matter more compared to a Jokic. For me personally, that's why I will put him over.
As soon as you say health, it sounds like we're talking about the regular season again. That's just what I got from it. I could be wrong. Yo, B Souls, this season you've been getting into more different sports, right?
I definitely have, and PrizePicks, our favorite daily fantasy sports app, and the sponsor of this video, has been helping me get into these other sports as well. The great thing about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions. So on Thursdays, I'm making NBA picks because that's primetime NBA basketball time. On Sunday, football is on, so I'm making picks then. The app is just really fun. It's easy to use, and we're gonna show you how to make lineups right now. So LeBron and the Lakers are about to play the Bucks. It is just a preseason game, so I'm gonna go less on his points for this game. And today, I feel like Zach Edey is gonna make a statement game. He's gonna get more than 9 points.
And since you've been getting into football, let me tell you about my MVP dual threat sleeper, Jaden Daniels. I'm taking more on his yards any and every time I get.
Let's go ahead and put $12 on this lineup right here. Click submit lineup, and boom, that is how you make a lineup on PrizePicks.
Go to prizepicks.com and use code LKIAB to receive a guaranteed $50 once you play $5 in lineups.
And shout out to PrizePicks again for sponsoring this video. That is once again code LKIB. And back to the video.
Well, if he's healthy in the playoffs, that'll be the difference.
But they both healthy enough to get a ring or 2 or whatever the case may be. But
Joel Embiid has not been healthy enough.
No, I'm saying in this world, you get 2 rings. Cool, that means you had to have been healthy at some point. That's fine. Now you put him in a different conversation, but the separation between the two is most likely going to be health in the regular season. He can move up. Cool, he'll move up past like David Robinson or something like that. But once he gets into this new conversation, the separator is still going to be regular season. We can prolong health in the regular season, but it's still going to come up eventually. You need to be healthy in the regular season.
You know, now that y'all bring up Jokic, and this is not me trying to pull a gotcha stamp. It's going to sound like it, though, but I'm really not. When y'all bring up Jokic and y'all talk about things like Jokic's personality or whatever throwing y'all off, Embiid punting on games, does that not like kind of apply in the same thing? Or do you guys just respect the tactic that much? I'm just getting clarity on that because like my issue with it is quite literally just the ignorant side of NBA fandom that one of the best talents in the world, to some people the best talent in the world, is just already telling me he's not going to play a certain amount of games, let alone, if I have to be honest, he probably still may deal with injuries. Of course, we don't want that to happen, but he might still deal with injuries, and then he's just going to miss even more games. What?
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 He zoned out, didn't he?
Yeah, you are paying attention. All right, so basically, does Joel,
I can't think. Go ahead. I can't think.
does Joel punting on the games? Does Joel punting on the games fit the same mode of like Jokic being boring, basically?
No. I got what you were saying. I don't know why they said it like that. I don't want to say that it fits the same mold. It is something that is nasty. Because to what end do we like stop giving him grace? If he skips back-to-backs, where does that put him at? Like game-wise for the season. The most he could do.
They said 15.
63.
63.
Oh, you got that?
No, I'm sorry. 67, 68.
67.
15 missing all back-to-backs is already 15 missed games. So 82 minus 15, that's 67.
So 67.
They could get the awards.
65 is the threshold for the
But
awards.
just factor in like 5-10 more games of just like missing it for other reasons. You know, it's close to the All-Star break, you know, whatever. It's close to the end of the season. We're not playing the last 2-3 games. He might genuinely be needing some rest, so they're not going to play the Charlotte Hornets for real. And you got another 10 games. Are we okay with the superstars of the league playing 60 games? Maxing out at 60 games.
I will say not every superstar has the injury history of Embiid, though. Like, even last year when people were making a big deal out of it, we were like, yeah, but Embiid gets injured. Like, he shouldn't be the example for why the 65-game rule is ass, because he always gets injured. But yeah, I don't know, because even 60 games, I know this is a crazy low bar for Embiid. That already is a healthy season. I ain't gonna lie. For Embiid, which sounds crazy. I will say this, though. I think what this tells me is that for certain teams in the league, I know we like to talk about roster construction, these little signings to fix their weaknesses and all of that, bro. For certain teams in the league, it really does boil down to how your best player is going to play / their availability. And I think the 76ers don't matter what, like, unless we're talking about some Paul George's turns back the clock to 2019 shit. It don't matter what Tyrese Maxey, Caleb Martin, Nick Nurse is gonna do. If Joel Embiid is not healthy by the time the playoffs come, if he's not at least 80%, they are not going deep in the playoffs. Same thing I'd say for the Lakers. You know, we talk about the coaching decisions, we talk about, you know, the pieces around LeBron and AD, but at the end of the day, the beginning of the night, that train stops and starts with LeBron and AD. If they're on their A game, y'all have a chance. But if they're not healthy, it's cooked, bro. Like, what are y'all gonna do? Trying to run it out with Austin Reeves? Now I know that sounds like a obvious thing to say, but for some teams, I just feel like we like to talk about the schemes and the ancillary pieces too much, man. Is Luka gonna play or not? You know,
that's not applicable to the Celtics, right? Whether Jason shows up, it doesn't really matter.
Y'all say he got carried, so apparently not.
No, I'm asking you. Not what we say. What do you say?
Not as much. I'm gonna be honest with you with the help that he got.
Okay, as long as you can acknowledge.
Yeah,
I would just say in terms of for the superstars in the league, to me, I wouldn't mind it for real. In all honesty, if it's resulting in you being healthy in the playoffs and they're able to contribute more, if injury-prone players are able to actually be in the playoffs, I wouldn't mind it. Now, if we're seeing this trend of guys doing this and they're still Kawhi Leonard and Joel Embiid in the offseason, in the playoffs, then yeah, throw this shit away. Y'all not slick. But if you're seeing positive results, I'm all for it.
A minor concern that could be a major concern that I have with it, if multiple, and I do mean multiple superstars or even majority of them do this, is the idea that basically regular season awards really would be like this thing that people would just brush off at that point. If 90% of the top talents, and I know that's an exaggeration, but if like of the top 10, if 5 of the players aren't even trying to qualify, those all NBA teams, those MVPs or whatever, I already know that's going to be like twisted in terms of
Halliburton next up, Sage. Halliburton right behind Joel Embiid, but they won't talk about it.